To see the fully uncut version of this video, head over to patreon.com/Jonjo Lyons.
What's that like to live deliciously? Chaos reigns.
Please don't scream.
Nah, Sid, don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
What's going on? My name is Jonjo Lyons, and today I'm here to present to you my review for The Beyond. Written and directed by a whole bunch of Italian names I'm going to say wrong. I can say Fulci at least. The Beyond stars! All it is. A young woman inherits an old hotel in Louisiana where, following a series of supernatural accidents, she learns the building was built over one of the entrances to hell. How's it going, my soulless Satan soldiers standing at the gates of hell ready to bring to the world the joyous horror of his beautiful agony? It's that time again. Time to check out the second entry in Lucio Fulci's Gates of Hell trilogy, The Beyond. The Beyond of the three was the one I was most looking forward to seeing, as it's widely regarded to be the best, not just of the trilogy, but of Fulci's career. Similarly to City of the Living Dead, The Beyond features yet another gate of hell opening and causing mayhem up top. Some very eye-centric mayhem. And just like City of the Living Dead, I've somehow never seen this one before, only ever catching the very famous scene featuring a lot of very hungry spiders, as well as some extremely fake-looking spiders. Is this going to be another banger from the godfather of gore? Let's find out. But before we get into all of that, I just want to remind you, you can see this video completely uncut and early at patreon.com/Jonjo Lyons for as little as $3 a month. That's it. Want to see the uncut videos, gain access to the Discord, and see all the Patreon exclusive videos that can't be on YouTube anymore? Go over there now. Also, my short film, Better Anything, is finally complete. We got the final sound back. There's still one tiny little thing I want to adjust, but other than that, it's done. It's literally done. We had a little screening the other day and got some amazing feedback, so yeah, I'm really excited for all of you lot to see it. We're going to be entering it to film festivals all over the world, so that's another reason I need you to join the Patreon. Entering film festivals can get super expensive, so yeah, all my extra money will be going towards that. And the Indiegogo is actually still open, so if you did want to claim some of those perks, like t-shirts, posters, and the like, go over there. I'll leave a link for it in the pinned comment and description below. Oh, and if you go to instagram.com/Jonjo Lyons Reviews, you can see the first official clip. I released it as a short on YouTube, but if you want to see the full image, you can go over to the Insta. I'm so excited for you all to see it, so please keep an eye on the Instagram and I'll be announcing when it's playing in a city near you. But anyway, I'm in the mood to watch a ginger child have the worst luck in the world, so let's not waste any more time. Get ready to see what happens when you take a shower in sulfuric acid. This is The Beyond. The movie begins at this hotel in Louisiana, 1927, as these people go for a lovely little boat ride. Inside, a woman puts whatever this is down when she stops to look at the Book of Ibon. Elsewhere, this fella is painting when this mob arrives and the boat people run ashore. Cut to the blonde woman as she reads from the book. The mob then head inside and kick through the painter's door before silently advancing on him.
You ungodly warlock.
Holy f***! They gave him a face vagina, which is coincidentally what the men under the bridge call my dad's mouth.
Because of you, this hotel and this town will be cursed forever.
The woman continues to read as the mob dumps the painter downstairs and takes him apart. They then nail him to this rock somehow before picking up whatever this boiling stuff is and dumping it on the man killing him. I have no idea what that shit is, but for fun, let's just say it's boiling.
Evil will invade the world.
Talk about hot off the presses, eh? Hot off the presses! 'Cause it's on fire! Cut to the opening credits and then to present day as this woman, Liza Merrill, chats with this fella Martin about the hotel's ongoing renovations. She then checks in with one of her workers when he spots something through the window. Good lord, how hard did he hit the ground to be hemorrhaging internally like that? Seriously, dude, what the f*** You fell from like 1 floor up. Anyway, Mr. Shattered inside keeps talking about the eyes when Liza demands to know where the doctor is. Arthur here says he's on his way and we cut to him pulling up outside. Also, Arthur, why the is your face so wet? Cut to Dr. John McCabe as he says the worker needs to go to the hospital. He then picks up the poor sod and they shift him outside. Martin then shows this painting to Liza when the bell for room number 36 rings. Just to be clear, that picture is the one the man was painting in the opening and that was his room number. Liza says the room is empty and it must have been wet-faced Arthur when we cut to Joe of Joe's Plumbing turning up. He's greeted by Liza who tells him the water isn't coming out of any of the taps but somehow the basement is flooded. They both go to take a look when the maid Martha appears and creepily says she's cleared a path for Joe to fix the issue.
Martha, I made this little pathway to the far end, just for Joe.
Thank you, Martha.
God damn, the sexual tension is thick in the air like the pungent smell of my dad's blood and encrusted underwear after a particularly heavy Saturday night. Joe then cracks on as Liza and Martha head back upstairs. Liza says she'll be going into town today and needs a list of the things they need for the house as Joe ventures deeper into the basement where he finds a leaking wall. He breaks away the brick around the leak and behind the wall we see this room. Joe then makes his way through the hole searching for the source of the water as again we see that room. Upstairs, Liza stumbles on the wettest face this side of Sicily and asks him what he was doing. Arthur says he was looking for some keys to the locked rooms in the house so he can clean them and Liza says she'll find them or call a locksmith. She then requests he go to the roof to check the chimney as it seems to be clogged. Arthur then asks if it was Joe who pulled up just now and Liza says it was. Downstairs, the stone seems to melt away at Joe's touch when this happens. Oh no, poor Joe! Now how the is he supposed to find the leak? Cut to Liza driving when she's stopped by a blind woman who introduces herself as Emily and says she's been looking for her.
My name is Emily. I've been looking for you.
How? Cut to Martha looking for Joe in the basement, then randomly calling out for Arthur. Back with Liza and Emily, we find out her guard dog is named Dickie as she shows our lead her place. Martha continues to look for Joe, discovering him at the end of the tunnel, looking a little bit worse for wear. Oh, gross. What's that yellow stuff he keeps throwing up and why does it keep on coming? Martha doesn't seem bothered by this at all, instead calmly observing the appearance of the corpse of the man from the opening. His name is Schweck, by the way, which I'm 100% pronouncing wrong and will continue to say in different ways throughout the rest of the video. Cut to Emily playing the piano as Liza asks why the blind woman thinks she should give up the hotel. Emily says she can't explain why, just that she must go back where she came from and hurry. Cut to the morgue as Joe is stitched up by Dr. John. He's joined by Dr. Harris who wants to hook Schweck up to this brainwave machine, but I reckon any semblance of a brainwave left that gooey a long time ago. John tells him to go true, but when he gets back, he's doing the autopsy. Cut to John driving when he pulls up along Liza and says hi. Back with Harris, he unsurprisingly doesn't get anything from Schweck, instead getting a call and heading elsewhere in the hospital. That's when, of course, the machine starts to do a thing, and this woman, Mary Ann, comes into grief, I think. She then tries to pop a shirt on Joe, but can't lift the man, so starts cutting it. Outside, her soulless ginger daughter sits as an orderly pushes the squeakiest corpse in the world down the hall. It's called WD-40! Jesus Christ! Back in the room, Joe's dressed up all fancy like when Mary Ann turns to see...
Mommy!
Water spilling? That's a bit of an overreaction, isn't it lovely? Ah. Judging by the melting face, I'm going to assume that's not actually water. Look, ginger girl. I know she might be a little bit too far gone by this point, but you could at least attempt to move her from the infinitely pouring acid. No? Just gonna continue to stare and then run away. Well, Cut to John and Liza having a drink. John asks Liza if she wants to give up the hotel with all the accidents happening, but she says she couldn't if she wanted to, as all her money is tied up in the project. Also, when John talks about these accidents, he's actually including Joe. What accident occurred that ripped both of Joe's eyes out? Anyway, John promises to come and stay at the hotel when it's done. Liza also mentions how useless Arthur and Martha are, but says she can't fire them as they came with the hotel, which John thinks is strange. John then gets a call from Harris at the hospital. Cut to whatever's left of Mary Ann being buried as we see a flash of Emily. Here we also see the daughter is still alive and everyone does the Catholic Macarena when she separates from the group. What happened there then? What the f is going on? Cut to the flooded basement and then to Liza taking a midnight stroll. She hears someone calling for her and discovers Emily, who asks why she didn't listen to her and leave. She then says she wanted to spare her the details but now must tell Liza the horrible truth. Cut to this groaning POV as it heads up to room 36 and then to Emily telling the history of the hotel. That 60 years ago everyone in the hotel disappeared and the painter, Schweck, who lived in that room, found a key. A key to one of the 7 gates of hell.
The 7 gateways to hell. This house was constructed on one of the...
Emily then stands feeling the presence of someone else even though Liza says they're alone. Emily disagrees, saying he's come back to the hotel before asking about the painting.
Yeah. That's the bell from room 36.
That's where he was killed, in his room.
Wasn't he killed in the basement? Emily warns Vec has come back and never to enter room 36, but Liza has other ideas.
Now look, Emily. I've lived in New York all my life.
Hence my extremely thick New York accent. Emily's hands then start randomly bleeding as she runs off into the night as Liza flashes back to what literally just happened. What in the name of Joe Pasquale is going on here? Cut to the next morning as Liza immediately goes to investigate the room with a hatchet. Inside, she opens up some curtains as asbestos rains down on her, then finds the Book of Ibon, which very well may be the source of all this goofballery. Behind her, a wardrobe then squeaks open and Liza investigates before heading to the bathroom. Should've listened to Blindy McCancy, eh? Liza then runs when she's saved by Dr. John and his fat, drippy presumably. Cut to the pair in room 36 when they check the bathroom, finding it utterly corpseless. Liza is convinced she saw him and points out the remaining nails, but John says they're just rusty, so she imagined it.
Guess I must just have a pretty wild imagination.
You saw a hanging corpse, Liza. How wild could your imagination be? She then mentions Emily and where she lives, but John says no blind girl lives there and the house has been abandoned, which is spooky. Finally, Liza realizes the Book of Ibon is also gone and we cut to Emily playing piano once again. Cut to Liza with her architect Martin as they go for a walk and he gives her options on what to do with the hotel. Through this bookshop window, she spots the Book of Ibon and goes to take a look, encountering this handsome, giggly devil. It seems now the book has changed, and when she asks the clerk, he says it's been sitting there on the same shelf for the last 2 years. She's then joined by Martin, who asks if she's okay and says he's going to go to the town hall to dig up the original hotel blueprints. Back in the basement, we see Arthur in there to fix the big hellish hole in the wall. Cut to Martin in the town hall. This fella shows him where to look, then says he's off to lunch but will lock the door so no one disturbs Martin. Martin quickly finds what he's looking for, but notices something strange on the plans when he takes a flashy spill and breaks his neck. And next comes the worst part for me. A whole bunch of spiders emerge from God knows where and eat Martin's face right the f*** off his head. Truly my worst f***ing nightmare. Come to Australia, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Thank God some of the spiders look hilariously fake, but still. We then see this extra wing of the house disappear from the plans and cut to John turning up at Emily's. He approaches the front door, which is now boarded up, and uses some garden shears to break in. Inside, Emily is nowhere to be found, but he does stumble on a copy of the Book of Ibon. Cut outside as Liza randomly drives past, and then to John reading the book.
The 7 dreaded gateways to hell are concealed in 7 cursed places.
Cut to Martha cleaning up number 36 when she heads to the bathroom and finds the tub full of swamp water. She pulls this gunk out when Joe's body suddenly rises from the murky depths and attacks, grabbing Martha by the face and hanging her out to dry. Some say the eyes are the windows to the soul, but to Fulci, they're the highway to Cut to Liza returning to the windiest hotel and then to Dr. John inspecting Shrek's corpse. He finds the crucifixion wounds and the rune, comparing it to a passage in the book. Cut to Emily in her once again furnished place when Dickie starts crying. Her piano then starts to play on its own as Emily asks who's there. We then see this handsome devil as Emily goes in search of the intruder.
What do you want from me now?
Hotter? Hotter?
Spike, I know you're here!
Colder, you blind b****. Emily falls down like a Burke and tells Shrek she doesn't want to go back as the zombies just sort of stand there. She says she did what she was asked to and begs to be left alone when the puppy comes to the rescue.
Attack, Dickie! Attack, Dickie, attack! Dickie! Dickie! Don't let them get near me!
Yes! Good dog! Protect your blind mama! You know, I'm not a massive fan of dogs because they can sense the evil within me, but Dickie is making a fine case for owning my very own little pupper.
You made them go away.
Jesus Christ, Dickie, no! What the f*** is wrong with you? See? This is what I mean. Dogs are the f***ing worst. Cut to John calling the hotel and not getting an answer. We then move down to the basement as Liza looks for Arthur, who she quickly finds. Ah yes, Arthur, wet as ever, soaked to the bone in basement water and his mother's vaginal fluids. Liza manages to get away and runs upstairs right into the arms of Dr. John, who has had just about enough of her crazy stories. He tells her Emily's house has been abandoned for the last 15 years and gets Liza to show him where she saw Arthur but finds nothing of note.
And he tried to kill you, huh?
Please, John. You must believe me. I swear.
So where's Arthur now?
But I don't know.
Liza, you crazy, sexy b****. Did you know one of the gates of hell is actually in my arsehole? Open it up for me, Liza. Open it up and call me a slut in your terrible American accent. That's when things get windy in the tunnel and blood starts to rain down on the pair as it collapses. Thankfully, the couple are somehow able to escape as blood floods the basement. Upstairs, they pass the painting, which also starts to bleed. They then make it out and we get this gorgeous shot of the hotel now fully consumed by zombies. Cut cut to Liza and John driving as she notices no one is in the streets. They then pull up at the hospital and head inside, finding it similarly abandoned.
But John,
No, Liza. I'm a doctor.
So button your holster. Looking for Harris, they go into John's office where Liza realizes her hands are now covered in blood. No, please, not Liza. She survived the City of the Living Dead. Don't take her away from me now. Did that zombie just... And also, why the f*** does Dr. John have a gun in his office? The pair run into the hall and John pops off more shots when Liza gets locked in this elevator. John then shoots this before running out of bullets and hiding in this room. Cut to Liza in the morgue where she discovers this ginger kid who I'm only now learning is called Jill and is apparently Joe's daughter. Back with John, he bumps into Harris and... hold on. Where did John get more bullets from? And, come to think of it, how many bullets does the gun actually hold? Anyway, the two doctors then make their escape. What? How? Why? What? John then makes his way to the lift and finds Liza with Jill. They all then rush to the ground floor where they're faced with even more zombies, but luckily John still has that infinite ammo cheat enabled. They then pop into another one of the many morgues in this hospital as this fella jumps Liza and gets shot. Next they bump into who I think is Shrek, and John pops him a few times, only now forgetting to aim for the head. And that's when Ginger Jill grabs Liza by the face, but John ain't about to play that shit. Whoa! John just shot a child in the face and doesn't give a single f***. Run that shit back! I love you, Lucio Fulci. John's gun runs out of bullets for the second time and the pair take off into the basement of the hotel? What the f***? The two of them also seem rather confused by this and press on forward, finding themselves in Shrek's painting. They try to escape but unfortunately go blind and the film comes to an end. The end! Well, what can I say? Another absolute classic of a movie. Lucio Fulci's the f***ing man. Let's see that headshot one more time. The Beyond is another excellent gore fest from Fulci that is more dreamlike in its presentation but still has that vicious violence we all know and love. It's a jump in quality on his previous work in a lot of ways but still isn't perfect. Am I the only one who would love to see City and Beyond combined into one movie? I wonder who owns the rights. The story is simple enough, with a warlock being murdered for reasons unknown, then years later a plumber melts a wall and opens another gate of hell. Typical. Just like City, I think this movie leaves a lot of information out, only focusing on the important stuff like faces being eaten by spiders. Also, that was Emily reading from the book in the opening scene, right? And the warlock was painting the Beyond? Is that where she went when they all disappeared? And if so, is that where you go to get all milky-eyed up? When she said she did what she was told to, who told her and why did they want Liza out of the house? If it was the devil or whatever, surely he'd want the gate open. I don't know. I was fine to enjoy it as just another really well-made piece of gory fun, but would love to get some detail as to just what in the actual was going on at certain points. Onto the characters, and I really enjoyed our two leads here. I liked how Liza was less of a damsel in distress this time around, choosing to stay at the hotel rather than listen to milky-eyed Emily. Again, Katerina McCall puts in a solid performance and she's quickly becoming one of my favourite stars of the era. Then there's Dr. John, who basically becomes Indiana Jones by the end of the movie. I still can't get over the fact that he keeps a gun with unlimited ammo in his office. But yeah, anyway, he's fine. And what's the deal with the two that came with the hotel when Liza inherited it? Did they already know Joe? It seems so. And how the f did Liza know Joe's daughter's name at the end? Did I miss an introduction? Whatever. Next is the gore, and it's Fulci, so of course it's amazing. The spider death was gross and the face melting was cool, as was Joe's eye gouging. Thankfully, we get a little bit more variety here with not a single brain squishing in sight. But above all else, the greatest moment of the film is when that child gets their face blown up. Jesus Christ on a bike, that was amazing and entirely unexpected. Good stuff. Production-wise, things are great here too. I love the environment being different in this one, giving me more humid vibes as opposed to City's cold gothic nature. This feeds into the colour palette of the film, and I love how different both this and City feel because of it. Other than that, the music, editing and overall quality were excellent. All in all, I had a fantastic time with The Beyond. I keep going back and forth on which my favourite movie of the two is, and that's a testament to how great they both are. Again, a little bit more information into the lore and motives would have been nice, but at the end of the day, this is a classic for a reason. See it immediately and prepare yourself for the final installment of this trilogy next week. So that was my review for The Beyond. What do you lot think? As I said, this is another absolute banger from Lucio Fulci, and I'm actually kind of sad we've only got one movie left. One question though, does anybody know what Fulci's issue with eyes is? He really seems to hate them. Having your eyes gouged out by zombies is one thing, but having them eaten directly out of your face by spiders? Never thought I'd see that. Speaking of which, if you want to see a ginger child get shot in the face like this, completely uncut and early, head over to patreon.com/Jonjo Lyons. There you can find the uncut version of this review, plus others with more stuff being added every single week. We got the uncut reviews, Patreon exclusive reviews, / comic breakdowns, and the Discord. And all that can be yours for as little as $3 a month. $3! You can pledge more, I really appreciate it, as I need the money to send Better Anything to film festivals all over the world. Entrance fees can cost anywhere from $5 to $100, so any help you can provide will be massively appreciated. Everyone I've shown it to so far has loved it, and I really hope you're going to feel the same way when you eventually see it in a city near you. One more time, that's patreon.com/Jonjo Lyons. Thank you. So that's it for another week. Like the video, leave a comment, and click subscribe if you haven't already. My name's Jonjo Lyons, and I wish I could go all beyond Milky Eye blind. Then I wouldn't have to look at myself in the mirror anymore. Every time I do, I just hear that mother crying and screaming, "No, please stop eating my baby." Bitch.